How did a single security breach to a software development company, which happened over 10 years ago, impact the way we think of passwords today? How is the leaked data still being used in tools of both cybercriminals and white-hat security professionals? I am your host, Matt Siankowski, and today we will look into the case of Rockyou. So let's get to the start. It was the year 2009. And the internet in 2009, that was a completely different world. From 2000 to 2009, the number of internet users globally rose from 394 million to over 1.8 billion. With so many new users of the internet, a new beast beats the charts of popularity: social media. Its size, reach and scale were out of this world. Things were booming, new fortunes were created, and the hype train was at full speed. Movie The Social Network is just in production and will be released next year to explain to people what is going on, because no one knows what's going on. The way we use technology changed. The way we interact with others changed. And suddenly being born is not enough to exist. You also need to create your online profile, preferably with photos and friends. There was a company named Rockyou, which was riding the wave of this new trend. They are a main character of our story. Rockyou was developing widgets and applications for social media platforms. Yes, multiple apps for multiple platforms. Rockyou was everywhere, from MySpace to Facebook. From games, through slideshows and profile decorations, to birthday cards. A success story of a tech company playing its part in shaping those colorful times. Yet year 2009 didn't end well for Rockyou. In December it was breached through a vulnerability called SQL injection. What is SQL injection? In short, data of most websites is stored in SQL database, in tables, and is retrieved by SQL queries. So if you navigate to a post of a certain ID, you can expect that under the hood a query like this is run on the SQL server. SQL injection happens when an attacker is able to predict how the SQL queries are constructed and smuggle his own SQL query to run on the server. In this oversimplified example, the attacker inserted some unexpected code at the end of the post ID, which in fact ends the original query and starts a new one. This injected query deletes data from the database. For Rockyou, the SQL injection was used to leak the records of user accounts. Data of 32 million accounts was leaked. Yet it's not about the number of the accounts in the leaked database. It's about the actual information in the records. Normally, passwords are kept in a database in a hashed form, meaning that a password field looks like a gibberish. It's easy to turn text into a hash, but it's impossible, or at least very hard, to do it the other way around. This database kept its passwords with no cryptography whatsoever, showing exact 14 million unique passwords used in 32 million accounts. A real list of real passwords. To be clear, nothing like this ever happened before. There were some password leaks in the past. There were people trying to guess or brute force passwords. But this, 14 million actual passwords, it's like a completely new stuff. There has already been some talks on what the ideal password policy should be. What are the most common passwords, how people generate their passwords, and so on. But now we have the actual data. The level of analysis, a real-life analysis we can do on that list is astonishing. And the conclusions of that research? They leave no hope. If you allow the users to set up weak passwords, they will do so. But then just look at this and take your time, because this is messed up. Top 5 most popular passwords. 290,000 accounts used password 123456. 290,000 out of 32 million. That's like almost 1%. Screw that SQL injection. If you tried to log on to every account one by one using password 123 up to 6, you would break into 1% of accounts. You would gain access to 290,000 accounts simply by trying password 123456. No tools needed, no hacking skills needed. Mind blown. Other top passwords aren't better either. 79,000 accounts used password 123 up to 5. 76,000 accounts used password 123 up to 9. 59,000 accounts used password and 49,000 accounts used password I love you. Noticed no special characters? Yes, the password policy didn't require them. As long as it was 5 characters or longer, you were good to go. This list goes on, and notice that the most popular passwords aren't shared by 1 or 2 people. Thousands of people, unknowingly and with no cooperation whatsoever, selected for their passwords exactly the same phrases. We like to think how diverse, special and distinct we are as individuals, yet our minds think in similar ways. If you take only 5,000 most used passwords, it will make up 20% of all accounts. 1 in every 5 people, meaning over 6 million people, sat down, thought a little before setting a new password, and all they could come up with was one of those top 5,000 passwords. We aren't really that special. We aren't really that distinct. The password list wasn't only used for research. It is still in use by hackers, both cyber criminals and security professionals. Since 2013, it has been attached to the Kali Linux distribution. It's like a one-stop shop with most of the tools any security professional might need. And somewhere there, between network sniffers, exploits and port scanners, you will find the Rockyou password dump. This list is still being used in dictionary attacks, where an attacker provides a big list of passwords instead of actually brute forcing through billions of all possible combinations. And even to this day, over 10 years after the Rockyou breach, I kid you not, if a hacker comes across a, let's say, password-protected zip file, it is this password list he will try first. And what happened to Rockyou as a company? It survived the lawsuits and the media outrage, which surely wasn't easy. It was able to find large investors both before and after the breach. It changed its focus more towards games. Yet in 2019, Rockyou filed for bankruptcy, ending a colorful story of ups and downs, a developer adding some spark to otherwise rather dull websites, a company riding the waves of early social media just alongside us all, entered dangerous waters and by mistake shared some insight into the workings of a human brain. And why I personally love the whole story of Rockyou. The first time I ever played with tools for dictionary attacks, I used an input file, rockyou.txt, knowing nothing about the origins of the file. And when I finally discovered it, I felt like I found some side quest that's more interesting than the main plot. Like there is some real-life lore behind anything we see. I create these videos for you, the viewers, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for being my viewer, even though I know how hard it is to find time these days. You are already perfect and you helped my channel by staying with me. Yet if you want to level up from a viewer to a subscriber, I'm confident you will find a button to do just so. Take care and don't be a stranger.